So hello, my little YouTube family. Today we're going to be working on the splits, just because I put a poll out on my Instagram and all you guys always ask me about is getting these splits. So just to verify, the splits, not necessarily, well, it is to do with yoga, but it doesn't make you a better person. So the way that I'm going to do this split practice now is completely away from the yoga side. I do realise that we all have goals and we all might want to achieve, say, the perfect split, but just listen to your bodies. The way that I'm going to film it is I'm going to go with a lot of very different variations, so it's up to you. The problem I find with YouTube is I can't see who's at the back of these videos actually practicing what I'm preaching on here. So please, if you get into a variation and you're already feeling a lot, please stay there. Wait for your body to open up naturally, because I will be going literally maybe into 5 different options, because I know we all range in different flexibilities. That being said, I'm going to shut up, and I want us all to start in a downward facing dog, please. So hands down, lifting up the hips, and downward dog. If it is your first downward dog, take a while to just open up through the back of the legs, through the shoulders. And take this time now. So you've probably done 1,000, 100, how many of these, but how does this one feel? So even get into the scapula, just start rolling. Start bending each way and just wake up the body nice and easy. Good. So I will be doing this with you. There will be some longer holds. And now settle in to a kind of stillness for me. So bring the hands shoulder width apart. If your hamstrings are feeling a little bit tight, soften the knees. Just think about sinking that chest back towards the thighs. Grounding through the heels, and if you notice your heels are turning in, just push to the outside of the feet just to open a different line of the body. Good. So on your next inhale, we'll start with the left leg today. Left leg goes all the way up. So flex the toes for me. Keep pushing that heel towards the back of the room. And again, bring your awareness, look at your left toes. Notice if they're turning out. Bring the toes to turn towards the ground. Don't open that hip yet. Push down through the hands. Push the heel towards the back of this space. And ground down through the right heel and breathe into this opening. Good. Now slowly lift the right heel off the ground, breathe in. Breathe out, send it down to the floor. 2 more. Inhale, kick it up. Exhale, lower it down. Last one, breathe in, kick it up. Breathe out to lower. You can bring the left foot down if you need a rest, or straight away, point the toes. Now open that hip. Send the left leg all the way up. Nice. So now it's fully extended. I want you to give me 10 pulses here. So kicking the foot up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly drop it down, wiggle it out. Good. As always, standard rules apply. If you ever need a child's pose, hit the pause and come and rest down. So when you're ready, right leg, send it up. Keep the hips square. Heel pushes towards the back, chest towards that left thigh. Tuck those ribs in a little bit. Toes towards the ground, and find that length in the left hamstring. Breathe in, lift the left heel. Breathe out, sink it down to the floor. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Good. Point the right toes. Send the right leg, open that hip up as high as you can. Now give me 10 pulses at the top. So for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Give them a little bit of a shake. Good. So always working with a kind of dynamic kind of pulsing to open up the body, so we're not just statically holding these postures. So left leg, raise it up once more, take it up as high as you can. And then slowly step the left foot in between the hands. So keep the hands grounded, come up onto the fingertips. If you want to already grab a block, you can do so. So as you breathe in, send that right hip back and send the chest forward. Squeeze the glute, find that length in the right thigh, breathe in. And as you breathe out, bend the right knee, straighten the left leg and flex the toes. Good, 2 more. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, send it back. I don't know if you heard my hip click then. 1 more, breathe in, bring it forward. There we go. Exhale, take it back. If you need to do it on your knees, feel free. 1 more. Inhale, come forward, stretch that heel back. Exhale, bring it back. Good. This time as you breathe in, come forward. Place the hands in front of you or hands onto the blocks if you need to, and float that leg all the way up towards the sky. Good. Breathe. Hold here. So think about bringing the chest towards the thighs. Belly button towards the thigh, crown of the head towards the toes. Keep reaching that top leg up high. Breathe here. Hold. For 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly release. Right leg next to the left. Toes hip width distance. And just hang it out here. So soften the knees. Let go of any tension and just relax down. Good. And then slowly come to rise all the way up for me. Find your Tadasana. Good. Right leg, step it all the way back. You're going to turn towards the side, so parallel the feet for me. Take an inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward. So again, try and fold from that waist. Think about leading with the heart, chest down towards the floor. Option, hands can come in line with the toes. Maybe bring them back. Maybe grabbing hold of the ankles wherever you are. Stare towards the ground. Imagine a string attached to your nose and it's pulling you towards the floor. Now bring the weight in towards your toes and send that tailbone reaching up high. Another option is bring the arms behind you and pull onto the floor to get you even more length. Now breathe. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. Slowly release. Just halfway lift and go to turn towards that right leg. And come into that low lunge, just like we did on the opposite side. So as you breathe in, send the heart forward, send the left heel back, stretching through the left thigh. And as you exhale, straighten through the right leg and bend the left knee. 2 more. Inhale, come forward, think lengthening through the crown of the head. And exhale, send it back. Last one. Breathe it in, come forward. Breathe out, send it back. Now inhale, come forward for me. Hands plant down on the ground or maybe onto the blocks. As you shift the weight forward, send that left leg up high. Breathe into this space. So option, right hand around the right ankle. Again, point those left toes. Think of lengthening through the front of the body just as much as the back. Now breathe. Hold for 3. For 2. And 1. This time, land in the hands. Good. Step the left foot back for me. Come back into the lunge and lower down onto that left knee. And come up to rise, find that low lunge. And grab your blocks if they're not already near you. So coming back into that lunge. Make sure pelvis is tucked under. So lifting up, we're not sinking into the thighs yet.
Tuck the pelvis under, push down through that left big toe, and bring the hands on the knees. Good. So squeeze the glutes. You should already feel quite a lot of the stretch in that left hip flexor. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, bend into the right knee, sink it low. And yes, if it doesn't cause you any pain, knee can pass over the ankle, you're not going to die. Now as you inhale, push out of that right heel, bring it up. Now exhale, sink it low. 2 more. Breathe in, lift. Keep the pelvis tucked. Breathe out, lower. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, bring it back up through center. Now, right forearm, right knee. Pick up the left leg, don't grab it yet. Use your muscles, use your strength to keep you there for a second. And then left arm comes back. If you need to grab onto the wall for balance, please do so. If you want a little bit more, this can actually be done with your foot or your knee right up against the wall for a little bit more intensity. As always, honor your body. So now, pelvis tucks under. Squeeze the glute, push that knee in towards the ground and open up through that thigh. Roll the shoulders back. Breathe. Hold for 2. And 1, slowly let go of the leg. Good. Shuffle the right foot a tiny bit forward and come into a low lunge for me. So going a little bit deeper in the hips. Notice I'm not just sinking and hanging out. Think of hugging everything to the midline. So push out of that right heel, lift up and out of that waist, and find a stability in your lunge. Even though we're working on opening, we still want the muscles to be strong. Good. So option 1, if this already is enough, stay here. Option 2, left arm goes down, right arm goes up. Option 3, back leg, lift it up. Right hand to that foot. And notice if you've already trying to grab this leg and your hips are hiking up, forget about it. Let go of the foot. If your hips hike, sink it down. Good. Now, because we're trying to get into the thigh and not the hip, square the shoulders towards the front. Keep pulling the foot in towards the butt. If you still want more, come down onto the forearms. So whichever variation we're in, we're going to take 10 deep breaths. So breathe in into the hips. And already, just try and soften down a little bit more. The body responds a lot better when we stop trying to fight. Instead, just finding a point where we can hold and working on releasing the tension. 3 more breaths. Hold in for 2. And 1. Slowly let go of the foot for me. Hands surround that right leg and straighten up through that right hamstring. So now, half split. Back knee around 90 degrees and tuck the back toes just for balance for me. Now notice if you're struggling to square the hip, think of bringing the right hip back, left hip forward. If you need blocks, bring the blocks around the thigh. And please be honest with yourself. If you're on the ground and you're rounding like this to get there, I want you to come onto the blocks, and everyone, wherever you may be, flex the toes and send that heart forward. So notice the length in my spine. We're going to pulse here, still adding movement. So breathe in, send the heart forward. Breathe out, push away from the floor and the blocks and round the upper back. 2 more. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, push them round. 1 more. Inhale to engage, stretch that hamstring. Exhale to release. Good. Now breathe in, bring it forward and hold. Good. So wherever you are, keeping the hips as square as you can. If you want to go a little bit deeper, bend the elbows, not the back. And now notice, bring your awareness to your feet. Are your feet turning out or in? Can you pull them back and slightly to the side to combat wherever it is in your leg? Could be different to mine, different to everyone's, where you need to hold the stretch a little bit more. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And now slowly bringing the blocks back towards you. Time to extend into whatever your 4 splits may be. So try and keep the hips as square as possible. And as you slowly slide the foot out, square the hips. Good. Now the blocks need to come in line with the hips. This means there is more weight on the pelvis, stretching the hamstrings. Again, listen to your body. So wherever you are, option 1, stay in here. Option 2, you can bring a block underneath the front thigh for a little bit more comfort, and especially if your fingers are close to the ground. If you feel like you can take more, back toes always tucked. The tucking of the toe enables you to push into the toe to square the hips. The splits will come a lot faster by stretching this way. Option 3, tuck the back toes, lengthen through that back leg. Squeeze the glute, find that stretch in that left thigh. I know it's a lot. Breathe, hold. For those who are fully down and need to go further, you can fold forward over that right leg and hands wrap underneath the right ankle. And again, back toes tucked. Push into the floor, lift that hip flexor and work on squaring. Breathe in. And obviously, if you want to go further still, you're going for an oversplit. You bring the block underneath, or 2 blocks underneath the front heel. Now hold. Breathe for 5. I feel you, trust me, for 4. For 3. For 2. And 1. However gracefully or ungracefully come in all the way out and take in that child's pose. And relax it down. A few big deep breaths. If you feel like you need to shake out the legs, the hamstrings, feel free. And the best thing about yoga or splits practice in general is you've got 2 legs, so you know the torture what's coming on the opposite side. I'm going to turn around for this one just so you get better angles from me. So whenever you are ready, starting in that low lunge, this time with the left leg, coming forward. So tuck pelvis under, right toes in towards the ground. So forget about sinking in, lift up and out, pelvis under, squeeze the glute. You should already feel a lot going on in this thigh. Push through the right big toe. Hands onto the left knee. Take a breath in. Breathe out, sink it down low. Inhale, push out of that heel, lift it up. Exhale, sink. 2 more. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, bring it low. Every exhale, trying to go a bit deeper. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Hold it at the bottom if you wish. Again, try and extend up and out, finding that extra length. And then slowly bring it back up. Left hand, left forearm, or onto a wall if you need help with balance. Picking up the right foot with the muscles first. Hold it. Find the integrity, then grab the foot with the hand. Again, this can be done up a wall. There is a picture floating around where you can see that. So, tuck the pelvis under. Push the knee into the ground, lift the chest, bring the foot in towards the bum. Feel the stretch in that thigh and that quad area. Hold it. Breathe. For 5, keep squeezing the glute for extra. For 4. For 3. For 2. And 1, slowly release that back foot. Left foot can shuffle forward a little if you need to. And then sink down into that hip. So again, I'm not just hanging out and be like, yes, this is awesome, I'm going to be so flexible. No, you need the integrity in the joints. So hug everything to the midline. Push away from the floor with whatever connects to it. Lift up and out of that waist. And just find that nice, stable stretch in the thigh. You might also feel it onto the left glute. That's because it's stabilizing. That's good. We want to strengthen as well as stretch. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, I forgot my left and right. So right hand down, left arm up. Good. So keep sinking those hips back. Option 3, bend the back knee. Bring the foot into the bum with that left palm. Again, if your hips have hiked up now and you've forgot about the stretch, forget about grabbing the foot. Make sure those hips are low and you're getting into the thigh. Now, square the chest forward so it's coming into the thighs a little bit more. Option 1, stay here. 2, come down onto that forearm. Foot comes into the bum. And breathe. Again, you can squeeze the glutes a little bit extra. Hold in for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release for me. Come up onto your hands and straighten out through that left leg. So give it a bit of a shake if it needs to. Shaking the hips, working in to that left leg. Good. Right knee around 90 degrees. Flex the left toes and notice this foot. So notice if you have a tendency that the feet are coming in a little bit. We need to work the opposite line of the body because you're used to going there, say, in daily life. So pull the foot back and square it. Left hip back, right hip forward. If you need to, come onto the blocks. Feel free. I'd rather you use blocks. You're going to get to your end goal quicker than forcing yourself into a position that's actually hindering you. So as you breathe in, send the heart forward. As you breathe out, push them round the upper back. 2 more. Inhale, bring it forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take it back. Breathe in, come forward. Notice I soften the elbows if I need to go a little bit deeper. Exhale, push them round. Last one. Breathe in, heart comes forward and hold it there. Whew. Good. Keep flexing those toes back. And breathe into that space. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you know what's coming. Time for the final one. Slide that left foot out. Try and keep those hips square. Again, keep the right toes tucked. Bring the blocks back in line with the hips and lift the chest. Nice. And work from here. Again, if this is enough and you're already screaming, stay here. If you want more, lengthen out through that thigh. If you want to actually sit here a little bit longer, block comes underneath the left thigh, and breathe. And just for balance sake, if you are already uber flexible and want to go a little bit further, back toes stay tucked, square the hips, lift the chest. Hands come down. Lift up the left heel and then push the right heel back, lifting up through that thigh. If you still want more, of course, blocks can be placed underneath the front heel. Breathe. For 3. For 2. And 1. I'm going to come out of it a different way. Roll into that left hip. Bring the legs out in front of you and give them a tiny bit of a shake. So, because it's more stretching and goal base, I'm going to end that one here. There is a video on back bends, and I think back bends and splits go beautiful together. So if you want to do that, I think it was the one that I just last posted. And lastly, it's good to lengthen and stretch, I get it, but if you're working on this kind of flexibility, this kind of strength, don't do it every day. Make sure you're adding strengthening exercises for the quadriceps, anything around the knee basically that's going to protect it. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, always square the hips. Think of squaring those hips, and the open hips splits will come way quicker. So yeah, enjoy your day wherever you are.